Well, to start off with, obviously, lived with my mum and dad, and then from what I remember, by the time I was 2, they'd separated. I actually remember them having a fight when I was quite young. Can remember that quite well. Just before my 10th birthday, I moved down to England and had quite a rough time down there with my mum drinking quite a lot. It was every night. So then that started, obviously, the violence and the arguments, and I went off the rails and started acting quite a lot older than I was, going to parties and drinking and smoking. And just before my 12th birthday, the police had been out looking for me, and they found me and they took me home, but my mum wasn't in, and I knew where she'd be at the pub, so they took me to the pub where she was. They asked her to take me home and she said, no, just take her, I can't control her any longer. And then they took me to like a stepping stone house, it was a children's home, but it was just like until they got you a permanent home. So that was quite difficult because I walked in quite late at night and there was 2 older boys living in the house, so I was quite scared and timid, and that was quite a really hard time in my life. I moved about quite a lot in children's homes as well, because obviously I was finding it hard to cope with everything what was going on. So I was getting moved because they couldn't deal with my behaviour, and I left care when I was 16 to move back home to my mum, which was quite difficult. I fell pregnant with my daughter Olivia, and when I told my mum, she didn't want me to keep Olivia, she wanted me to terminate the pregnancy, and she told me if I kept Olivia then she'd kick me out, and I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I decided I'm going to move back home where my family are, because I do want to keep her, and I'm going to do this with or without her. So I just moved home. Back to Scotland, to Dundee. I moved in with my dad and started my life again here. That was quite challenging as well, because my dad's quite a big drinker too. He likes to drink every night. So there was a lot of arguing, and it was very volatile. It was actually at the midwives that spoke to me about it, and because of my age they said you fall into this category for a family nurse partnership, would you like us to sign you up for it? And I was a bit like, oh well, I'm not too sure, because I've got a lot of trust issues when it comes to people like that. So they explained to me what it was about, and that it was on a voluntary basis, so it was kind of my terms basically. All the questions I had, because I was really scared, and obviously it was my first pregnancy, so I didn't know like about labour and how it was going to be, and being able to just talk and build that trust as well. That was really good, because it's hard for me to trust someone, and it was really strange to find it in something professional. I found it in obviously a family nurse partnership, and that was really good for me. And it wasn't like they were there for Olivia, but also for supporting me as well, which felt great. And the assessments, what we did, they really encouraged me to know that I'm doing good. So that always boosted me and made me feel like I'm a good mum. When I started with a family nurse partnership, obviously I got to know about a handful of things to the baby, and like eating habits and stuff like that. So I stopped smoking, started eating healthier, started exercising more, and I've continued that. So my health is obviously a lot better than it was. Because of how my life's changed, it's managed to change her life as well. She's got a good life, she gets to interact with all of the children, and she's got a good diet, and she's a really healthy, happy baby, so that reassures me just looking at her. She's just a really healthy, happy, bright, very clever little girl. I'm so proud of her, because I just feel like she's come on in leaps and bounds, and she's just amazing.